Welcome to the City of Eureka Springs Bozeman Planning Commission meeting, Tuesday, May 10th, 2022. Our Secretary, Tom, is absent tonight, so Fergie, if you'll do a roll call, please.
All right. Joe Hill.
Here.
Megan Morris.
Here.
Ann Salee.
Here.
And myself, Ferguson Stewart. And Tom Buford is absent.
With notice.
With notice.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everybody had a chance to review the minutes of the April 12th meeting.
I did. I move that we approve the minutes of April 12th.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And then the minutes of the special meeting that we held on April the 14th.
I was not there, so.
Oh, I make motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, there you go.
Sorry, I thought you were there.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, we don't have anything on the Board of Zoning tonight, so we'll go on to the Planning Commission. Nobody has anything to add to the agenda. Okay,
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Are there any public comments tonight?
No.
Okay. New business. First item on the agenda is the new commercial construction at 157 West Van Buren, submitted by Corey Walker for Kent Krug. The request is for the construction of 4 small cabins in a C2 contemporary commercial zone. Motion to discuss?
I make a motion that we discuss.
Second.
Good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. So is this the same plan that was submitted the last time, or do we have revisions?
There's same plan. There's a slight revision in the location of one of the 2 cottages near the back of the property. There was a minimum requirement distance of 20 feet between buildings for fire code purposes, and we had that on the original plan, but when we forgot to take into account the overhang of the eave, it pushed us just beyond that, so they slid one of the cottages up just within 20 feet or so.
Okay. I have colored pictures here if anybody would like to. Okay.
Yeah, good. I've got them here.
I've seen these in color, actually.
Okay.
Corey, the only question I had for you on the materials and bringing the materials into the property, I guess that parking lot, is that where you're going to stage everything? Do you know if that's where they're going to do the building?
Be limited staging of materials up there on the parking lot. Most of it would be down on the property at the point of delivery. I'd just soon not keep anything up at the street level.
Right.
Because of theft potential and for just the aesthetics of it.
All right, well, that was my concern. You got it. Because I know the price is quite substantially increased these days.
I would keep driving by this pile of plywood in my neighborhood thinking, surely they're not going to leave this sitting there.
Okay.
It's really pretty. I love the finishes.
And just so the commission knows, this was approved, the design was reviewed and approved by HDC already, so.
Thanks, Coach.
Next question. I'd like to make a motion, unless there's any more discussion, to approve the new commercial construction at 157 West Van Buren.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Does he need to get something from me?
Let's see. Fergie, since Tom is not here tonight, if you would sign that as
Oh, sure.
vice chair, and I guess he'll, oh, he's gone. He'll get with you on whatever else he needs.
Yep,
Okay.
he knows the drill.
Okay.
Okay. Next item on business is new commercial construction, 147 West Van Buren, submitted by Dave and Ruth Hager. The request is for the construction of a 28 by 14 outdoor seating area. Motion to discuss.
I make a motion that we discuss?
Second.
Okay.
Do we have anybody here?
Is there
Are they
anybody
here?
here to talk about this?
Ruth or David, anybody on this application?
I don't think they're here. That could be my fault. They had someone acting as a liaison for them that just dropped the application in my office. He knew of the date of the hearing, so I'm not sure why they're not here, but it's a pretty straightforward project.
It does. I was just going to ask, I mean, I think it's great. I think that area back there could use that. Okay.
So where do we know where it's going to be?
Yes, so if you look on item 2, page 3, attachment 2, there's a site plan there. On the far right-hand side of this site plan is Highway 62. So this is actually located on the front portion of Sparky's. It's going to take away what is two probably smaller than compact parking spots.
Okay, that's where it is.
Those really awkward parking spots that you would.
Dangerous.
Yeah, that come in off of the road between Arvest. And it would attach to the existing porch. So essentially what they're proposing to do is use planters and it looks like wooden benches to just create a little patio seating area and then use the typical canopies to just tie off and shade the area. So this is something that feasibly is reversible, not a major impact on the overall property. And it's not pictured on the site plan, but if you're familiar with the property, you know there's a ton of parking available behind that building.
Right, there is, yeah. Yep.
So are we allowed to vote on?
Yeah.
We can with it here. Okay.
I don't see any reason why we
Okay,
couldn't
yeah.
vote on it.
Well, then I go ahead and make a motion that we approve the commercial construction request application on 147 East Van Buren.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay. So our next item is a report on the City Council Joint Workshop on Residential Parking. So as you all know, we met with the City Council, and I think we had an extremely productive workshop. We agreed that we will start with one street only to start with, knowing that other streets we may take a different approach. Well, we agreed to start on Spring Street. Right now, it's my understanding that they are asking for a legal clarification of whether or not this has to be done by ordinance, or if this, we can just, it's an administrative situation, we can put those up. We have not heard back on that yet. We will be getting letters ready to send to all the residents that are impacted by this, so they're aware.
Will there be letters to like the B&B and
Oh,
apartments
yes,
with additional
yes.
information?
Yes,
Okay.
some of those may be getting a second letter
Okay.
that have already gotten a letter.
Oh, okay.
So, yes. And then we have our second workshop, I think it was in 2 months with them. to-
July 5th, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know how fast this is going to happen.
It's a start, though.
Yeah, I don't know
It is.
who's going to decide how many signs,
Right.
where the signs go.
I think that's got to be public works or something. Yeah.
And maybe the police chief, I mean, he would
Yeah.
probably know better on enforcement and where to
Right.
potentially place.
I think it's a good start.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
And
Absolutely.
I'm thrilled that we could work with city council and all come to an agreement on this, and I look forward to having the next workshop.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I
It
did
was
too.
fun.
yeah.
So did I leave anything out?
I don't think so.
Okay. So we will go on to commission business. Ferguson, broadband update.
Yeah, if you look at your packet of stuff in the last pages, there's a page that's titled State Capitol Week in Review. I got this from the Arkansas Senator's office. Mr. Ballinger sent me this, my request. And basically, this is a result of the survey they received. This is a summary. It's called a 10,000-foot level summary. So if you notice, the dynamic here is that of those 210,000 households that lack broadband, they're saying only 100,000 of them are eligible for this program. So we don't know if we're in those 100,000. We won't know till it looks like July, which is, in my opinion, ridiculous. But that's the current statement from the broadband office, that the first week in July, they're expecting to release this to the public. And the reason why they're telling me the delay is the incumbents need time to respond. So that's where we're at. But this pretty much outlines, if you look at this letter, I don't want to read everything, but it talks about the whole program in essence for the just state broadband access for the consumer to reduce cost per household for services from whatever gets put in the ground or whatever's there already. So this is kind of an outline, and it like I said, I will keep my eye on it, and as soon as I get something squeezed out of the broadband office, then I will definitely bring it to the table. But right now, that's all I've got.
Okay, because I'm not being an IT person.
That's okay.
I somehow thought that this money had already been
Allocated?
allocated.
It's allocated to the state, and the state is trying to determine who they're going to give it to. So right now, I mean, basically, normal process would have been, okay, here's your territory, here's where our concerns are, incumbents go do this. But a lot of the incumbents said they already did it. So the reason why the survey was done by this consultant that was hired by the state for $3.5 million was to validate and identify dark areas or less served areas that the incumbents were saying were already served. So we found out 100,000 were not served. So 100,000 are going to be the part of this program. So the question is, in that 100,000, basically you're looking at about, I think the math goes about 3,000 per person and 100,000 for the million. In Carroll County, we're looking at $16 million to be spent. So it's a lot of money, but at the same time, I think right now the delay as far as us finding this out, if we qualify or if our area will get an independent fiber optic lay out program, will be in July. And we won't know that until July. And that's the best date I've gotten so far from both Harlan Bro and Bob Ballinger. So they're saying July. And so I'm going to keep fighting that and seeing if I get it. But that's basically it. There's 100,000 people in Arkansas are underserved. And so hopefully we're in that area and we will get the grant money for either Carroll County Internet Services or whoever it may be chosen by the grant, because I've all got grant proposals out there to deploy the fiber to increase the coverage.
And this is given out to, at the county level?
This is
Not
given out to
necessarily
the
just your
state. Well, the state has asked for applications, and they have grant proposals or requests for grants for these underserved areas.
Right.
And so right now, it's holding in the state capitol for them to quantify these 100,000 homes and where they are. So once they tell us that, then those grant providers will be issued those grants, and they can start plowing fiber.
What are they going to do if you've got 10,000 in Carroll County and 10,000 in Benton County and...
There'd be a lot of math problems. And literally, that's what I think maybe that's why the delay till July, because they're trying to come up with an answer for some of those issues in those areas where you have such a small number of people, but the state has guaranteed that they will get coverage. So there has to be something done to get them coverage. So that's probably why it's being so long delayed. All right, well, that's
Well,
my
I'm glad we have you to work on this.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for doing that.
Okay. Discussion on home occupations, minimum maintenance, and property management. Joe?
Well, the research that I have done has been, it wasn't minimal, but I've looked at several different cities' plans, and I'm more interested in the minimum maintenance, and I sent some information to Kylie. I think we're still at the early stages. Their terminology that I don't always like, what is rubbish and all that. I did find one that was pretty specific, not rubbish, but about what falls under minimum maintenance, the things, just
Right.
just under litter, actually, part of this from Greenwood, Mississippi, that in clear property free of litter, in parentheses, garbage, paper, cardboard, wood, glass, bedding, auto parts, appliances, tree limbs, etc.
Yeah.
That's sort of what I was
Yeah.
trying to,
Delineated, yeah.
yeah.
Would you like to do a workshop on this?
You mean conduct a workshop?
We could do a workshop on this, where we could all come to the table and brainstorm, or,
Well, that would be good.
Yeah.
okay?
Good.
We could do a workshop before our next meeting next month,
Sure.
Okay.
and that'd give us, by that time, maybe whatever you sent to Kylie, she could send out, and,
Yeah, it was just like Bentonville's plan,
but I mean, we
Yeah.
don't, there's-
Yeah, but you know what, by just looking at that, it just starts giving you information whether you like everything they say or not.
Right.
But it would be good for us all to have a minimum knowledge of what we're hoping to do.
okay,
Sure, absolutely.
all right.
So when you do send it out, just say that was Bentonville's, so we can reference
Yeah.
that one. But
And I'll try to find some others too. I'll see, I think I already looked at the Municipal League and what they have to say, but I'll do some research too, and maybe, Joe, we could meet beforehand and
Great,
get some stuff together.
Excellent.
good deal.
Good.
Okay, thank you. Discussion of B&B compliance with commercial building code. You talked to Bobby Ray about that. What did he,
So, to be quite honest, this is confusing to me. We do have that section in code that you all referenced that kind of spurred this question of, okay, if you have a single-family home, for example, and you want to make that into a B&B, current code, the way I read it, would say that you have to update everything to commercial code. In talking with Bobby, it seems like either that's not how that's meant to be interpreted, or that's not how that actually plays out in the real world, that only areas that would be undergoing a major renovation would have to come up to commercial code. So for example, if you were having to totally gut the kitchen, only the kitchen area would have to be up to commercial code, not necessarily each of the bedrooms. It's kind of, it's a confusing situation.
Yeah,
Because I saw this HGTV thing called Fixer to Fabulous, and it's
Yeah,
a couple
I saw
old.
the same thing.
Did you? And, they bought this old house, lovely old house but they wanted to do a B&B there. And so they went and visited a B&B, and it was quite lovely. But the thing is, everything was going to have to be brought up to, the kitchen was going to be incredibly expensive to come up to code. So I just thought that was interesting.
I'm going to call the state fire marshal,
that's great.
because what other issues this brings up is, why would this just be B&B? When you get a CUP, you're now getting permission to run a commercial business within a residential area.
For anything, for a venue, for,
Whether it be multifamily, tourist lodging, B&B. So let me research that, because I'm thinking it was like the state fire marshal that came in and said they had to do all that stuff.
Oh, it was. It was,
Yeah.
right.
is it
So-
just fire code concern? Because, I mean, there is
Yeah.
a lot of fire code that Bobby does when he does inspect. Like, he came and inspected mine, and I have to have the fire marshal come every single year, not the fire marshal, the fire company, Marmot Fire and Safety, and I have to have smoke alarms tested, I have to have
Right.
extinguishers in every room, I have to have carbon monoxide, that is all, and that all gets sent to Bobby, and that's already done, at least for B&Bs, that's all I can speak to. But,
Right, but I just think we need to, and I think we're talking more new build.
Right.
Or major renovation,
Yeah.
just so we can get it into code
right,
and make sure we're doing what we need to do. But I would think it would encompass more than just the B&Bs.
Yeah.
It should be everybody that's got a,
Yeah, and we discussed, not months ago, but we talked about when do we bring in like a contractor to do that kind of evaluation? If the current code person, is too busy, I mean, because that would be a very high degree of knowledge base that you'd have to be able to, when you're, giving somebody advice and they've got an existing structure and they want to change it, But that's one thing I was wondering about if the city ever, because we talked about, when would you authorize a contractor to come in to subsequently augment the code enforcement office, that kind of stuff. Because that's the thing. I think currently, as we're looking, I know our current code enforcement officer is going to retire in March, but that's something, if we could get a plan today on being able to have something in code that says we can, the Office of Planning can bring in a contractor if that individual code person is overloaded, and can't do it, so that we don't miss something.
that
'Cause
would protect more people, I see
Right,
what you're
protect
saying.
more people, but at the
Because
same
it's a
time,
safety thing.
we just had, we had a building on Washington Street that burned down, and
Yeah.
there were no firewalls, there was no fire extinguishers,
No.
nothing. So, yeah, I mean, wow. So we've got it, public safety first, and I think, but that's great. I think we need to get that itemized and detailed to the point where this is what's got to be done for everybody, and there shouldn't, we have a historic town here, but there shouldn't be, oh, that was exempted, so because you lost your life, we're sorry, that was historically exempt. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
We need to have, everybody needs to be as safe as everyone else. So we need to make sure that we're complying to state enforcement or local code.
I'm excited to know what you find out when you call.
Okay.
I'm really excited about that. 'cause
okay, I'll pursue that.
That's a good safety one.
Anybody else have anything on that?
No.
Agenda setting for June the 14th. So we'll do the workshop before.
Are we setting a date right now for that?
Yeah,
Just wanna make
It's
sure
the
I put it
14th.
On the,
It'll be right before the regular meeting,
Oh, it's the 14th.
oh, at 5 o'clock on the same
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
okay.
June 14th, sorry.
Oh, so it'll precede the regular meeting.
Yeah, we'll be
Got
here
it.
at 5 for that,
And we'll just meet out in the lobby and
Yeah.
just do a round table.
and then come down here.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So at this point, does anybody have anything else?
I do want to add, I forgot all about well, I didn't forget all about it, I'm just not ready yet. But B&B ideas, so just notate that. I'll get with Kylie and I'll have more
Okay.
details later.
Okay.
All right. Anything else right now? You want to put the broadband on, and just in case?
Yeah, yeah, let's go ahead and make a stab, put that on there again, and if I have something by then, I hope, because I just can't believe we gotta wait till July, still. Yeah, $3.5 million, you think they'd be able to give it to us,
Okay, Commissioner comments. Joe?
I just wanted to say once again how I enjoyed being a part of that City Council Planning Commission meeting we had. I thought it was very, well, it was a great meeting,
Very productive.
very productive. That was it.
Fergie?
Oh, yeah. The only thing I have, and I was talking earlier, is concerns about dispensary moving into Eureka, but I'll hold on to that till I get more details. But one thing I do want to say to the people out there that are opening your businesses, running it, our revenues are up because of you. Not because of some snappy politician, but because of you are open. The revenues of the city are up. The raises are a result of your hard work as a business owner. So thank you on behalf of the city.
Megan?
I really enjoyed that meeting as well. I think it'd be awesome if that happened more often, just with City Council or HDC, either one, both, because they are really cool commissions, and I think that there's a lot of just discussions that could happen instead of crossing hairs or this and that. That's all I've got.
I agree with all of you on that. I also like to give a big shout out to Melissa Green, who filled in when we desperately needed her. We have a new commissioner, I believe his name is Peter Graham, that will be hopefully at our next meeting. And then we still have one slot open. So things are looking up for Planning Commission.
Good.
So with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.